Hey guys, Xylophone here. In this video I'm going to show you how to make xylophone plucks in Massive X that sound something like this. In addition to that, I'm also going to show you how you can use some delay and reverb to turn these into ambient melodic bits that sound something like this. Okay, so the first thing you want to do in order to recreate that sound is to go to Additive plus FM and go with the layer bell wavetable. Then I'm going to set the wavetable position all the way to the right so that it sounds like this. And now we're going to create a pluck volume envelope using envelope 1. So we're going to remove all of the sustain, increase the decay by a bit, and turn the shape of the decay to the left. So that means that the volume decay is going to be more intense in the beginning of the decay and less intense near the end. And we're going to also add some release, so that should give us a pretty clicky attack. And we can increase the click in the attack by also changing the shape of the attack all the way to the left as well. So you get this sound. Now the next thing you want to do is to use the wavetable filter here to just find the main tone of the note that we're playing and one harmonic above it. So something like this, where I have the main frequency and then one harmonic above. And what we're going to do now is to use envelope 2 to bring back all of the frequencies that we've low passed to create a fast clicky sound. So let's do that. I'm going to set it all the way back, and let's create a fast decay with the shape to the left, so that again it will create a more clicky decay where the beginning of the decay has a very sharp attack. So something like this should sound fine. And now we can add some noise. So if you're looking for a more traditional xylophone sound, you probably want to go with just friction and Ankulung, which is a wooden instrument. So it works perfectly fine for a xylophone, which is also a wooden instrument. And if you're looking for a slightly different sound, you can also add tonus, which sounds like some low-end drum roll. I'm going to play you each one of these. Here's tonus. And here's Ankulung. So now what we're going to do is to use envelope number 3 to bring back the volume from 0. I'm going to increase the Ankulung more since the xylophone is a wooden instrument, so you'll probably hear a wooden timbre a lot more than any other timbre. And I'm going to bring the tonus in as well a tiny bit. And I'm also going to change the type of envelope from exciter to modulation, because exciter is really fast and I'm looking for a longer envelope. So something like this should sound fine. And now we can bring back our oscillator. And the less you bring it back in, you get more volume, more relative volume of the noise oscillators. So that would sound as if in reality you would record the xylophone using a contact mic, where you hear a lot of the attack noise a lot more. So I'm going to bring it back all the way and set the decay to be slightly shorter. Something like this. Let's set the release to be lower. And that is really nice. So now we're going to go to routing and change noise from going to A, it's going to go to C, because we're going to use our filter. I chose to use the scanner filter, and what I did is very simple. I just took envelope 7, removed the sustain, and just used it to modulate the frequency quite a bit with a lot of resonance, so that it sort of removes certain frequencies from our main oscillator to create a sound that doesn't sound completely full, if that makes sense. So let's hear that. So I think that here it sounds pretty nice, and the resonance really makes it sound a bit better. So you can try and add more resonance until you hear bird-ish sounds, like here. So let's keep it a bit lower. So in my opinion, that sounds pretty fine. And now you can add some effects. So if you're looking for a more traditional xylophone sound, I suggest to reduce the volume of the ankulung by a bit, and go with either the stage, the jazz hole, or the large hole reverb presets, and just set the size to be pretty small, and set the mix to be at like 40% wet, and you should get a sound that is very reminiscent of whole xylophone recordings. So in addition to that, you can also add some delay. Let's set it to sync, and let's set it to, for example, 4/8 and 2/8, like this, and that should give you a very nice sound as well. And one thing that is very interesting when you use delay on this sound is that when you set the feedback all the way and you decide to play a small riff yourself, like with a MIDI keyboard, you get notes that are slightly offbeat. Like here's, for example, a small riff that I played myself, and you can see that this is offbeat, this is offbeat, F sharp and G sharp are also offbeat. And then when you play the delay that is very strict in tempo with these offbeat notes, you get a really interesting sound. It basically makes the delay sound a bit more interesting. So here's how it would sound if all of the notes were on beat. It sounds slightly less interesting, so that's why I like this setting when you just play a short clip yourself. And then in order to make that more interesting, you can add some whole reverb. I just set the size to be all the way. I set the decay to be at around 10 seconds and the wet to be at like 40%. And in addition to that, I've also added a limiter that is going to make sure that the initial notes aren't going to pass 0 dB so that it doesn't clip. And then the notes afterwards are going to sound a bit louder so that the delay is more noticeable, like this. And then if you decide to record these beats, you get something like this. So basically you get a delay pattern that keeps repeating itself, and because you play these notes yourself and there are some small errors in the tempo, you get a really nice rhythm with the delay, and then you can add these into small parts of your track as small melodic fills. Here are two that I've made. And you can just keep making these, and all you need to do is just save the notes that you played in the name so that you know which chord does it fit in and how to use them and how to pitch them up or down. And then you can use them as small melodic fills in any track basically. And that is pretty much it. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what subject you want me to cover up next time.